Hello guys, this is Pavel Oskorov from Laravel Daily Team and YouTube channel Laravel Business, and today I want to show you how to validate the data while importing a lot of data from CSV, for example. So default Laravel validation is mostly used for the forms. So you have create form, then you have form request class, and you redirect back with an error. But how to deal with that if you have CSV with like 100 rows and you have validation error on row number 37, like unique something or foreign key validation or something is required, something like that. How to redirect back, how to stop the import, or should we stop the import, or maybe we should proceed despite that validation. Let's tackle all of that. So I've generated a small project with quick admin panel, and we have CSV import module inside of it, but this won't be a demo of that module. It will be more about CSV in general. So the way it works by default, so I have a customer, and we can enter a customer name, com. It will save as a typical form. There are only two fields, both required, and email is unique. And I'll show you in the code shortly. But if we have, if we try to enter the same email, it will throw the validation error. Should throw. Let's test it. Yep, the email has been already taken. And this works in a typical Laravel way. We have customer controller, have store method, and we have form request, which contains that email is unique to table customers. That is all fine. Now, how do we deal with CSV import? I've prepared a small CSV import CSV file, just in Sublime, just comma separated 3 lines. And if we import that, this is how it works. It's a bit more complicated because of our module, because it's unique, it's flexible for all the models. I'll show that in a second. So you can choose the fields. So this field is for name, and this column is for field name, and this column is for field email. You import the data, and as you can see, 3 rows imported to customers table, all fine. But if we try to import that again, the same file, we parse the same fields, so assign those columns to the fields, import data, and we probably will have error. Which error? Integrity violation, so it's a database error. Why is that? Because in our CSV import, all we're doing, we're not using the same request class. We have a trait. So in controller, we use a trait for CSV import for any model. That's why it's a little more complicated. But you don't need to know any logic of that except for this one. So this is what we're interested in. We're basically reading all the CSV, and we're doing a chunk by 100 just for performance, and we're trying to insert every row, and if there's something happens like in a database, then we throw database error, which is kind of bad. But this is what we leave for our customers to customize if they want to. And this is exactly what we'll do now. So this is pretty typical scenario. Your CSV import processing controller or service or whatever has the database insert or create for batch or one by one. How do you validate that? And how do you stop if the validation comes, as I said, in row number 37 or 23 or whatever? Probably we need to add validation before actually calling the database. So somewhere here. So here we are reading the CSV file, and the result of this is the insert array, and we need to validate that array. Luckily, we can throw Laravel validation in basically anywhere. So we can do for each insert as insert item, for example. We can do validator, this I think for site make. Insert item will be the array to validate, and then we have rules. And rules, we can take the rules from the same store customer request. So we do new store customer request in this. So we don't even create a new variable, new object, and then rules. So this is validator make, validator, and if we do if validator fails, then for example, for now let's dd validator errors. Right. And if at least one record fails here in validation, it will DD, or in real example, it should redirect back. But let's test this for now. So we just refresh the same post request, and let's see if we have errors. Yeah, we do have errors. Messages, email, the email has been already taken. So this is pretty typical validation. What we can do also, we can customize that message so it will contain the actual email, because for now we don't even know which email has been already taken, which row has error. So the third parameter, we can add another array of messages. And what would it be? So messages will be array, and we can define that some rule, so field and rule, so email dot unique will have an error of email input has been taken. You can look it up all in Laravel documentation, official, because you can specify it by field and also by field dot rule, and using some syntax like input, like not sure, attribute, and some other reserved words here. So if you specify that, then the error should contain the actual email. So this is the example, and email array contains that email, pavelas@laraveldaily.com, which is actually my real email. Feel free to email me, has been taken. So this is another step that we did, but this sounds pretty ineffective, because it's going through for each, for all the rows, and it makes validator for each of them. What if we can just use it once? So validator make, and we can use it once by doing a bit of hack. So validator make, instead of insert item, it will be insert the whole array. And we cannot really use the rules anymore. We will specify our own rules based on those rules, because now we're validating array, not the object. So our rules will be these. Instead of name and email, it will be star.name and star.email, which refers to the array items. So messages star email unique, probably it should work, and instead of these we will use rules, and we don't need for each anymore. I'm not actually sure if it would work. Let's see, but this is close to the syntax that I know about. Let's refresh that. Fingers crossed. Messages 3. Email has been taken. Email John Smith has been taken. Email Jane. So see, even better. So two advantages here. First, we don't have for each. Instead of we're doing validator make for the whole array. And also we are not stopping on the first error. So now we have actually 3 errors, and we can list what emails have been taken. And this is the final step. We will do exactly that. So instead of DD, we will do redirect back. And in our case, we cannot do redirect back because we have an intermediate step of choosing the fields. So we will redirect to route admin customers index, which is the list, with errors from that validator. And I will show you another trick. So if you have just redirect back to the form, you can make it even shorter. So instead of this, you can just do, let's comment it out, you can do and delete this, and you can just validator make validate, and that's it, and it will redirect automatically. But in our case, we cannot do that because we have to specify the actual redirect to the route of index. So comment that out. And also don't forget return. This is a typical error I see a lot of people make. They forget return before redirecting. And let's try it out. Refresh the page, and let's see if it redirects back, and it should show errors, because inside of our quick admin panel we are doing the showing the errors from the session. In official Laravel documentation it's this. So this errors array comes automatically from the validator, and if there are any errors, it shows like this one. So this is probably the best way to show the errors. So someone tries to upload the CSV, validation comes and is performed before any database operation. And if there is a validation error, it redirects back with exactly the entries that were missing. So I hope this video was helpful for performing validation for a bigger amount of data. Of course, there are other ways to tackle all of that, especially with handling bigger CSVs, or maybe you want to have it more customized, like row numbers and all of that. So feel free to customize that or comment down below below the video, and let's discuss further. Subscribe to the channel. If you like projects like these ones with admin panel, check out our admin panel generator, quickadminpanel.com, and see you guys in other videos.